So let's start with a question. Do you think that most people know what to do and where to go to get the right legal help in Florida? Well, truth is, if you're one of the roughly 80% of the people in the state, you are unlikely to know your legal options. I would like to introduce to you a collaborative effort that is currently underway that will help all of us better understand how we can increase the access to the legal system in Florida. Clay County is participating in the pilot program of a triage concept that is designed to connect Floridians with the available legal resources to further assist them with their needs. This pilot is small in scope and the first step in beginning to understand the legal needs and the resources available to assist citizens. Florida has a vast amount of legal resources available. These resources include attorney referral services, legal aid services, local clerk's offices, pro bono assistance, websites such as floridalawhelp.org, and do-it-yourself forms. And these are just to name a few. But how does a person with a legal issue know what resources are available, which ones to use, and where to go? The Triage Pilot Project is the first step in understanding how to solve this very issue. The scope of the Clay County pilot will focus on two areas: assisting landlords and tenants with residential evictions, as well as assisting citizens with simplified dissolution of marriage. For example, let's talk about Linda and John. They are having difficulty with their marriage. Linda has decided to file for divorce from John. As if that is not stressful enough, she now has to worry about how to accomplish it. She is confused on where to go and what to do. Does she know what resources are available to her? A lawyer can help, but can she afford it? Does she know that she can walk into the clerk's office for some assistance? Her friend Mary told her about legal aid and that they may be able to help. She may even be prepared to do all the filing herself. There are a lot of options, but very limited guidance on what to do and where to go next. She is not alone when it comes to all these questions. This is where the pilot of the triage program could bring value to an individual like Linda by asking a few questions of her to better understand her needs. The triage will guide Linda through a series of questions, such as, tell me a few things about your situation. Where do you live? What is your legal issue? Possibly even your financial situation, as well as other non-personal information. Depending on her answers, we will be able to direct her to a variety of existing resources, such as a local pro bono program, the assistance from the Clay County Clerk's Office, local legal aid services, do-it-yourself forms through the e-portal, or even floridalawhelp.org. The hope is that once Linda's needs are identified and she is connected with the appropriate resources available to her locally, she will find the best possible way to navigate the legal system and can focus her attention on what matters most to her.
Let's take a closer look at how Linda will interact with the gateway when she goes there to seek help. After the welcome screens and some background information, Linda is asked questions about her legal situation. She's also facing an eviction from the apartment she rented when she separated from John, so she will choose to get help for both a divorce and an eviction. She's asked questions to see if she qualifies for a simplified divorce in Florida, and then is given the option of either getting help through the Lo Bono program or self-help online forums. Linda is now asked about her eviction. She's given the options of either free legal aid services or online self-help forums. In addition to self-help forms, Linda can receive additional information about eviction and divorce from floridalawhelp.org. So if Linda wants to learn more about the steps in a divorce, she can read short FAQs and get a better understanding of what she needs to do. Or she can watch a video on answering an eviction for non-payment of rent. At the end of the gateway process, there's a referral ID that can be used on the forms or through the online intake that can be used to track the user through the system. Linda can also download information or provide her email address. Let's see what those self-help forms look like. When Linda exits the flag system to use the divorce forms, she will enter the Florida Court's e-filing portal, which contains a guided interview which helps Linda fill out the DIY forms. These forms are from the Florida Supreme Court's approved family law forms. First, you have some instructions about the interview, divorce, and how to file the documents. Then she'll start the interview. Linda will read over more background and disclaimer language, and she'll be asked to acknowledge that she read the information. Then she'll be asked questions about her marriage, her residency in Florida, and children. She'll be asked about alimony and divisions of marital assets and liabilities before she's asked to provide specific information about her, John, and their marriage. For the sake of time, I've skipped some of the specific questions, but before she finishes, Linda must acknowledge that her and John understand what they're filing and that they will come to a final hearing. Finally, the end results. A completed dissolution form that Linda can file with the court. When Linda exits the gateway for eviction forms, she will be directed to floridalawhelp.org. The eviction interview was created by contractors hired by Florida Justice Technology Center, who specialize in document assembly and guided interviews using plain language. The form was developed by experts in housing law, and the final product was reviewed by volunteer attorneys. Linda will see additional disclaimer information and is told what she needs in order to complete the form. After she gives her name and gender, she's asked about a referral ID from the flag system. Here she can enter a referral ID which will be printed at the top of the forms so it can be tracked through the system. Then she's asked questions about her case. Because Linda is answering an eviction, the interview tells her that she has to respond to each paragraph in the complaint by admitting, denying, or responding that she does not know. Then the interview walks Linda through possible affirmative defenses. For the sake of brevity, I'll show you a few, such as, did you agree to rent the property from your landlord? Do you have an agreement to buy the property? Is the lease attached to the complaint? Prior to getting the court eviction papers, did you separately get notice from your landlord telling you to move out? After providing some additional information through the interview, Linda has a Word document that contains an answer with affirmative defenses and some information about paying rent into the court registry. At the top of each page is the referral ID from FLAG. And you'll see it's also produced those affirmative defenses. Finally, at the end, you have a certificate of service. The Gateway was able to provide Linda with information about eviction and divorce and guide her through the process to create self-help forms. Now all Linda will have to do is sign the documents, serve her landlord and her husband, and file the answer and petition with the clerk's office.